everybody. Good afternoon. Dr. Brenda Hasselbrock here with the Wellness Way in Houston Memorial. And thank you for joining us today. We're going to be talking about one of the principles, foundational principles for the Wellness Way approach. And it is the fireman carpenter principle. So I want to just show you something here. Let me see. Hold on. All right. Cool. So the principle behind the carpenter and the fireman approach is just a different thought process. So it's a different way of thinking, and how the Wellness Way is different in the thought process than most other healing professionals. So I wanted to show you this little thing here. So let's just say it's the end of the day, you're on your way home and you turn on your street and this is your house. Heaven forbid, your house is on fire. Who are you going to call? Don't say Ghostbusters. Yeah. Most people say, well, Dr. Brenda, I'm going to call the fire department. And we say, well, why didn't you call your dentist? He has a hose, right? Yeah. But you say, no, he doesn't have the right equipment. No, he doesn't. The right person to call would be the fire department, right? Because they have the tools, the training, everything they need to show up to the scene and take care of the situation, right? So let me just pull over here. Yep. Yeah, so a dentist has a tool, but it's not the same. He has a hose, but it's not the same thing. Firemen are professionally trained to handle these types of situations. So we would call the fire department, right? So the fire department shows up, and they basically have two tools. They have an axe and a hose, right? All right, so the fireman shows up. He's got an axe and a hose, and so the first guy runs in with the axe, and what does he do to your door? Smashes it down. And then the second guy comes up with the water hose, and what does he do? He starts spraying water all over the place. Then they go to the windows, smash it in, right? And then same thing, starts spraying water all over the place. And then 15 minutes later, this is your house, right? So the fire's out, and we stand there grateful. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for doing a good job. And we stand there grateful because we know that we can rebuild that house easier than starting from scratch and starting all over. So they saved our house, and we're grateful for that. Now, are we going to have the firemen come back tomorrow with their axes and hoses and help us rebuild the house? That's a silly question, Dr. Brenda. No, they don't have the right tools for that. So we need a different professional, right? So that would be the carpenter. Now, while the firemen are still there and they're putting up their equipment, the carpenter shows up and he says, oh man, what a mess. I have to pull out the carpet, I have to tear down the sheetrock, I have to bring in some new materials. So the firemen are saying, yay, we did a good job, and the carpenter's saying, oh, yikes, what a mess. So my question is, which one of them's right? Really, the answer is both, depending on the health of the house. In this analogy, the house is your body, right? In this analogy, the fireman is the medical system, right? So when your house is on fire, you need a fireman. You don't need a carpenter. A carpenter can't show up with his tools and take care of the fire. When the fire's put out, you need a carpenter because the fireman can't show up and rebuild your home with the tools that they have. Now, in our analogy, like I said, the fire department is the medical system, right? All right, so the medical system also has two tools. They have drugs and surgery, right? And let me prove it to you. So if heaven forbid you're having a heart attack and a stroke, they're going to pick you up in an ambulance, and the first thing they're going to do is put a tube in your arm, right? And they're going to use the hoses and start putting medicine, pumping medicine into your body. And sometimes the medicine will save you, and it'll save the house from burning down. Sometimes it won't, so they have to pull out their second tool, which is the axe or the scalpel, and that means surgery. Is it risky? Can you die? Absolutely. Are there other risks involved in that? Absolutely. But they can save lives, and thank God for that. So if you're having a heart attack or a stroke, don't come to our office. Go to the emergency room. That's what they're trained for, and that's what they're good at. If you have a broken bone, if you need, you have a bad cut and you need some stitches or things like that, that's where they shine. And thank God they're there. They can actually save lives and stop the house from burning down. Now, here's the other part of that, though. When they give the medicines, is that good for the body? Is it good for the body? So, if you're having a heart attack, one of the follow-up medications is blood pressure medication. Is that good for the body? And one of the ways that you think about our analogy, the fireman and the carpenter, the fire department, if it was going to do prevention to keep your house from setting on fire again, the tools that they have, of the two tools they have, the axe and the hose, they spray a little bit of water every day on your house. A little bit of water so it doesn't catch on fire. Is that good for your house? No way. It's going to deteriorate and rot and fall apart at some point. So same with medications. Are they good for your body? No way. They can save your life sometimes, but they're not where you get help from. They're not safe. They are dangerous. Who says so? The people who make them. I mean, every drug comes with a negative side effect. So it's okay to get you through an emergency situation, through a crisis situation, but that's not where you want to stay, right? So, fire department, carpenter. So we're the carpenters. If you need to rebuild your house, if you need to find out where those loose wires are, or those faulty switches are, to prevent your house from catching on fire, that's what we're good at. And what we do is we don't guess, we test. So we're not going to just say, oh, here, try this or try that. No, we're going to do some testing and find out what's the status of your house, what's the status of your body, and what do you need. Where are the triggers, where are the possible dangers that could set your house on fire at some point if you don't address them right now. And we're seeing this more and more in our office. Just unfortunately, people are massively, massively sick. And it just really upsets me because they're searching, they're looking for answers, they're going to doctors, they're having testing done, different than what we're doing. Some of it's the same, it's just a little bit more incomplete than what we do. They're going on Google, they're looking for solutions, they're trying natural things, and they're still sick as can be. So, I'm not against natural things, actually. I like natural things, but we have to find out what's right for your body. Because here's the thing, no two people are the same. No two people are the same, even if you're twins, even if you're identical twins. What your body needs is very specific to you and to me. And so we don't guess, we test. And we test ourselves. I just recently ran some labs on myself, and maybe I'll show those to you next time. So it's an ongoing process, So just like the house needs repair, and you have to clean up and regrout and different things like that, we need to keep track of our body. And there are very easy ways that we can do that. So if you're having any issues, if your house feels like you're about to break out into a fire, don't let that happen. I want to let you know next week, Tuesday, I think it's going to be the 19th? No. Yeah, 19th. Okay, I think it's Tuesday the 19th. Next Tuesday, 5:30 here in the office, we're going to have an inflammation talk so you can learn more about the Wellness Way approach and see about how to get yourself working and feeling better. It's so awesome to get beautiful testimonies from our patients that have been on aspirin every day and Advil every day for headaches, for people who have never really been well in their whole lifetime, and they're getting worse and worse each year and each decade. And they're coming in and we're finding some triggers and we're finding some stressors, and we're helping them get more control of their life by removing some of those stressors. Identify them so they know what it is. So, here's the main thing that's firing you up. So let's just turn that down a little bit, get your body closer to homeostasis. And homeostasis is kind of like this. I mean, it's never just right on the needle. I wish, but that's not the way it works. So we come in, we flow out, and this is why we do the testing. This is why I recently did some testing on myself. I feel good, I feel healthy, I have great energy, I sleep well, but I just need to know what's going on, because you can't always tell by symptoms on how you're feeling. So fireman, carpenter, it's a different approach. So we're not trying to just put out the fire. That's not what we're good at. We're good at rebuilding the body. We're good at finding out where the faulty switches are so we can prevent your house from catching on fire to start with. So thank you so much for joining me. Next Tuesday, 5:30 here in the office. We'll put the link for the Eventbrite if you'd like to join us. And I hope you have a great day and look forward to seeing you next time.